And the good news just keeps on coming. As stated in the title, we'll get to see the rest of Season 6 beginning on July 30th. And alongside the announced date, we have several new synopsis tidbits and video clips on what lies ahead. But first, as per usual, a spoiler warning is in effect. For all those who choose to keep watching, I ask that you please respect anyone's wishes about keeping future episode information to a minimum. With that said, let's talk about Stranger Than Fanfiction, where we'll get to see a full-on convention which will include a new pony voiced by Patton Oswalt. You may know this guy as the voice of Remy from Ratatouille. As for me though, I am most interested to see just how many nods to the brony community will pop up when there's an entire episode dedicated to the convention scene. Next up, there are a few scenes from The Cart Before the Ponies, where it seems that Rainbow, Rarity, and Applejack are taking part in a race alongside the CMC. I've mentioned this before, but I expect this will be an episode where there's a fierce competition between members of the main six who, in the end, are neglecting the CMC to the point where it's just no longer fun for them. One of the more interesting new ideas revolves around the times are a changeling. When Spike travels with Twilight and Sunburst back to the Crystal Empire to visit Flurry Heart, they discover the entire empire in a panic due to the reported presence of a changeling spy. Now, when I first heard this synopsis, I couldn't help but remember that final scene in the season premiere. And now we finally get to see this come to life. Even more interesting, though, is that Spike is going to befriend this new changeling. Which makes a lot of sense since I would imagine this sort of episode will more than likely touch on the subject of prejudice. And who better to speak for an outsider than the little dragon who has lived amongst pony kind his whole life? There's a lot of potential for a very worthwhile lesson here. But finally, we come to the episode which may very well be the most entertaining setup in the entirety of Season 6. Dungeons and Discord. When the main six leave town, Discord decides to join Spike and Big Mac's role-playing game session. Now, putting aside the wonderfully creative idea of having fantastical creatures in a magical land playing a game that's all about fantastical creatures in a magical land, just the concept of a character like Discord playing Dungeons and Dragons is going to be immensely comical. And it seems that Spike wants to play as a wizard, which, considering all the time he spent helping Twilight master various spells, actually speaks a lot about his innermost desires. We see Discord and Big Mac playing the part of an archer and a warrior respectively, though I am quite curious about what appears to be a unicorn horn on Big Mac here. Given his previous dream of becoming an alicorn back in Season 5, you have to wonder whether Big Mac has even been slightly envious of others' abilities to use magic during the course of his life. But I guess we'll just have to wait a few weeks to find out. In the meantime, though, I would love to hear your thoughts on all these new video clips and episode synopses. Which of these stories are you looking forward to the most? Do you have any ideas on how they might play out? Leave a comment below, and as always, I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.